What's up, guys? It's almost turkey season. Hard to believe it's 40 degrees today, April, 4th?
Yeah.
And it's turkey season. Close. It was 18 degrees this morning when I went to work. So you can tell me, or you can tell that I'm not real thrilled with how turkey season's going to go if it stays like this.
It's supposed to snow on Friday.
Well, it just snowed Sunday.
Yeah.
2 inches here in the great mighty Mo.
Yeah.
But today we're going to go over a little strategy, our setup for turkey hunting, and how Quincy's new to this. Quincy's kind of a guy I took under and brought him turkey hunting for the first time, and so all his stuff is adapted from stuff I've shown him. So it's not all proved. Well, I've killed turkey, but it's not all guaranteed. Everybody's got their ways of turkey hunting. These are ways I grew up and how my dad showed me and grandpa, and so Quincy comes along with me now, and he loves it. I mean, he hasn't even killed one yet, but it's something about a spring turkey gobble in the morning that it
gets you going.
It's better than setting a hook on your PB bass. Just hearing a gobbler and right at crack of daylight, like maybe a little dew on the grass and some fog, and it's awesome. So I guess we'll start out with my actual setup for decoys. I run Avian X decoys, which if you're looking to save some money, I probably wouldn't buy them, but they are
cheaper than the Dan Smiths.
Yeah, you could buy some Dan Smiths and really spend some money. But you'll have $200 in a set like I got.
Somewhere around there after tax and stuff. They're like $75-$80 for. Well, I guess for a hen, the Jake's like 85 or something like that. So yeah, you have close to $200 in it.
And I'll tell you why the reason I run this setup. So this is their hen. I don't know, but that is a lifelike hen.
Yeah.
I can do multiple things with this hen. They got Avian X has a like an air tube or inner tube inside their decoys, so you just blow it up, and then when you're done, you deflate them. If you can hear that, but I like to take her and say the turkeys are, they're hitting hens hard. They're not even attracted to like a full strutter. You've had a full strutter out there. They're not even coming by doing nothing, but they're still gobbling, right? Well, that means 9 times out of 10 they're on hens hard, which they usually are on hens, but when they're not in the fight mood, they're usually in the you know what mood. So I like to take her and I'll blow her down and I'll set her on the ground like a breeding hen is what I'm trying to say. This is just a feeding hen Avian X makes, but you can make this turkey look like a breeding hen, just laying it on the ground, deflating her. But I usually run her, and I run a half strut Jake that they make. It's him, big red head. Most people ask me why I don't run a full strutter. Man, I've had some really bad things happen to me while I've been using. I used to use a full strutter. One, your real young birds, like I shouldn't say young, your 2.5-year-old birds, which I kill a bunch of 2.5-year-old birds. I have nothing against it. One, it's hard to judge a turkey's age by them coming in until you get your hands on them. So I don't really age a turkey before I shoot them. But
they're intimidating.
Yeah, they're intimidated by a big full strut. Sometimes can be, and then other times them older birds don't want to fight. You know, they're like old deer. They're lethargic. They don't want to move a lot. They don't want to have any trouble coming in. But they see one Jake with a hen, they're like, all right, I'm as good once as I ever was. And they'll come in, and I've seen them beat up this decoy. I've seen Jake's beat up this decoy. Chelsea, I wish I had that video to just maybe throw in here. We might be able to find it. She shot her first turkey over this set. And this Jake came in, it was about 9 o'clock in the morning. I had worked a couple birds. They kind of got off of the neighbors. Now I know where this Jake comes out, and he sees that half strut Jake, and he comes, running in to the point where I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to let Chelsea shoot this Jake just because he's putting on a show. He comes in and flogs my decoy, knocks it off its stake. After it falls off the stake, he's beating it up, and then she blows his head off. But another reason I run a Jake, though, and only one Jake, is because a group of Jakes can whip the poop out of a gobbler, but an Uno Jake doesn't really scare him off. One Jake gets them pissed off enough to them come in and see why they're messing with this hen, but 2 Jakes, it's not a good call. So there's my decoys. Quincy, go ahead and tell them which ones you just bought.
I got last weekend. It's the Flex Tone. It's a quarter strut Jake and a feeder hen, and Rogers was running a sale. They're half off. But
what's
they're not
full price on them?
Full price is, I think it's $140 or $150 for the set. I think I bought it for $69.99.
So that's a buy.
Yeah, at that price it's a buy, and at that price you're getting pretty close to, at full price you're getting pretty close to AVNX money.
And you know what? Not to shut you off or anything, but those Flex Tones are similar.
They're just
so
not
similar.
They're just not the blow up.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, they look super realistic for $70 for a Jake hen pair. I'm super happy with it.
There's a lot of people who have their own preferences in decoys. It's like fishing lures. Everybody's got like what they like using. Like I said, I use avians, and I fall asleep a lot during turkey. It's just so peaceful out there. Okay, I like to take a nap.
Yeah.
And maybe wake up and then take another nap. But sometimes I've woken up and the sun hits that Jake or that hen just right, and they shine. And them things are realistic as it gets. Most people say, Dan Smiths are the best. Well, I mean, if you're gonna go money wise, they're the best thing out there because
the most expensive thing.
They're what, $250 for a strutter? I mean.
Yeah, like $125, $130 for
a hen
and a Jake.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm not dogging those guys. They're real. They look great.
Yeah,
they do look good. But I think I can get just as good as a look out of an avian versus a Dan Smith. But all right, so we'll move on to let's just say what I wear. So this is my Primo's. I don't even know what it's called. It's just a turkey vest. Primo's turkey vest. It's cheap. It's like $30. I got more room than I need in these things. There's pockets for your calls.
Always do.
Yeah. But why I wear a vest versus some guys wear, they make nowadays these little pouches. Sometimes they use, pockets in their pants. But I don't wear those just because of the fact. Sometimes here in Missouri when it's colder in the mornings, I wear a hoodie, maybe even a coat out. I like to take that stuff off when it starts getting warmer and when I start running around for turkey, and I like putting them in the pocket back here. And an added bonus we figured out last year is you can carry mushrooms out in these things. And also lose them because you leave them in there and forget that they dry. One mushroom.
Yeah. A very big mushroom.
So, that's why I like wearing a vest versus, packing it.
Cold ladder for me.
What's up?
Cold ladder for me.
Grandpa says it's too cold, but... Oh yeah, and it's got a butt pad. Not that these butt pads just do. Everybody thinks, oh, they're the greatest thing. It's got a butt pad. I can sit on it. Well, what you don't realize, if you sit on that butt pad for more than 20 minutes, it's deflating.
Yeah.
And it's basically like sitting on the ground regardless.
It just keeps your butt clean, so when you get back in the truck, you don't get your truck muddy. So.
Yeah. My whole purpose is, look, I can sit this in the mud, and I ain't got to sit in the mud. That's why I wear it.
Yeah.
Quincy was saying, we were just talking about this earlier, how he doesn't know if he's gonna use his chair. We got these. Well, he's got a chair.
Yeah, he's been looking at one, and there's if you have like last year I wasn't carrying decoys because he's always carrying the decoys, so I could manage one more thing to carry. But this year, decoys carry and all that. It's just one more thing to pack along.
Yeah,
they are awesome to sit in.
Yeah.
It's like when I take Claire this year. I mean, she's gonna carry it, but she can definitely sit in it. Just I've fallen asleep in that chair a dozen times.
I love those chairs. I do want one. I want one just to have one. But like Quincy was saying, if it's 9 o'clock and I don't have any birds working,
running,
and I gotta go find them, I'm not carrying this chair around and then carrying it through the woods and trying to be quiet and throwing it plus my decoy. Yeah, like Quincy said, it's just a hassle. So from there, we'll go to what I use for calls. Like I said, Quincy uses the exact same setup I use. So the reason he doesn't have his calls out is because basically
pretty similar
setup. I run 3 Slate calls. I should really say 2.
2 slates in a glass.
2 slates in a glass. They're called pot calls.
Yeah.
And one I've had forever. It's the Freak by Primo's. I used to have the combos. I had their glass, but it's just as their glass, and it's pretty neat. It wraps around your thigh. You can keep it right here when you're sitting down next to a tree, and
I think it actually sounds better when you got a strap.
It does. That's how it's
echoes.
yeah.
Echoes. They designed
it's
it
designed to
echo.
sit on your. It's really designed to sit on your knee. I like to put it on my thigh, but it's like Quincy's saying. It was actually designed so you could run it off your leg, so it sounds better than holding it off or holding it in your hand. But versus, it's a little different. I mean, it still works, but
And they make a new version now, and
it bungees. I don't think it buckles.
yeah, it don't buckle, but it bungees. But it's just kind of nice. You don't set your slate in your lap, or you set it on the ground or whatever, and you don't have to worry about.
I'm not lying. I've walked off on slates.
You don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
You got bird come in, you reach over, you don't want to draw any attention. All you
Right.
gotta do is pick your striker up and get going. But
They've also come out with a cool deal I want to try. It's called I think it's a hot shot. It goes on the gun, and you pull a string and it yelps. I've seen that one. That would be one.
that's neat. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
So that's a few years old. I haven't gotten to it yet, but like I said, I've had this call for, I don't know, deaths. If it had a tally count, there's a lot of dead birds on these primos, the freaks. I had this slate last year. I was calling a bird in, and out of nowhere, the slate just cracks and breaks. So don't have it no more. But I held on to the glass one.
You still have the carrier for it?
The cap?
Yeah.
No, I don't. It broke, and I think I was angry that day it broke.
Yeah.
It was my favorite slate.
I was saying you could have sent it to that guy.
I know.
He could put you a new slate in it, but
This is a rim shot Quaker Boy makes. It's like $12. It's nothing special. It's just a regular little slate. It's got more like of a, I don't know, it's a higher pitch yelp. But it's loud. I like it. I've had birds coming on that one. And then my newest one. This one's special to us. It's the tricked out one. I got it from. Oh, what's his name? I'm sorry. Gosh dang, I can't remember the name of his calls. I have this. Anyway, he makes custom calls. He's out of Grain Valley, Missouri. He does awesome work. But he made one for MoMonsters. Right there. That's the back. There's your slate.
you need to get up closer.
I-
So there's,
I- you know what?
there's
so
turkey
much
feet all the
detail.
way around the backside ring.
And he sent me striker for it too. So there's your MoMonsters, and if you can't see the writing around it, but it says custom handcrafted for me, Dakota Smith. And then he always numbers his calls. Which one? This is number 595, and his name's Scott Ashburn. It's made on 3/2 of 18, but it's got turkey feet and all the detail in this wood he does is great. And these slots are actually, I didn't know this, but boom, that's how he sends them out to you. So there's your striker. It's super sweet and slick. It's all handcrafted stuff. He turns it and lays it himself. I was super impressed. I think Quincy likes it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It sounds good too. I mean, it's not quite broken in yet. I don't know if you know this. The more you scratch a call, the more sounds you can. Well, I guess it breaks in the call. But this one hasn't really been broken in, but. So there's that one. Can't wait to use it. I'm sure it'll be a good call for me. So those are 3 calls. The reason I run 3 slates, or most of the time 2 slates, like Quincy does, it's just a toss-up on what the birds want that day. Birds can be like fish. One day they're biting green, one day they're biting black and blue.
Yeah. See, I've got one that's a higher pitch. What I've got so far is I've got 2 glass calls, but one's higher pitch and the other one is a little more raspy, a little deeper.
And I'll get to why or how when we tend to call and how we use these calls in what situation. So, another important thing to do when you're running pot calls, always have, just like your calls create different sounds, so do your strikers. So I got 5 strikers. No, I don't need 5. I usually, when I first started, I had these 2, and they're both made by Night and Hail. They're as old as that freak, so I've had those the longest. But these 3, every once in a while, I'll pick one up and see how it sounds. The bird gobbles, I'll work with that one. If he shuts up, I'll start running through my different strategies. It's like running through your lures, trying to figure out what they want. As far as mouth calls, I really like zinc mouth calls. I don't own any of their other products, their slates or box calls or anything, but I run their slate or their mouth calls, and I run 2 of their mouth calls. Do I remember their names? No. I just know one's got a different cut than the other. So basically, they're both triple reed. I believe that's how you say it. 3.
Yeah, they'll triple reed. Most calls you find now are triple reed, and if they're not,
a double reed,
yeah,
just don't even mess with it.
yeah.
A single reed is so hard to blow. They squeak.
You don't get consistent sound out of them.
Plus, they vibrate really bad on the roof of your mouth.
That's what that third reed's for. I watched a video on it. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
So Quincy's studying videos. Yeah. Guys, we watch videos too.
Research all the
Yeah. We don't just make them; we research them. Yeah, I do knew that. The third one, there's 2 reeds
like
plus latex reed. I believe that's what it is, and it dampens the. If you've ever run a double reed or a single reed, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a roof of your mouth will tickle. That's what the vibration is. It's not uncomfortable. It feels funny.
Tickly.
It takes it away.
Yeah.
So the one I run the most times is this red one, and it's got a different cut, and I'll show it to you how that reeds are cut on it. It's kind of like a V.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this. That's my favorite one. When I get a bird that's either far away, or maybe I don't know if he can hear me, or I just like, hey, maybe he likes this call better. I'll pick this one up, and it's got a funkier cut to it. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. And it's a little raspier. It's like an old beat down hen. You know, sometimes they like an old beat down hen. But it breaks over easy, so that's what that squeaking is. But that call sounds really good, especially on windy days. Now you might be asking, where's my box call? I don't really use a box call. A lot of guys sit there and use box calls to work birds. I never have. My dad never did. Only thing we ever use box calls for is maybe it's like 10 o'clock and you just got to a new spot. You're like, man, I don't know if there's any birds here. You get to a spot and you want to start calling, right? That box call is really good to locate a bird. Like maybe you've used your crow call. They're not hitting on a crow today. Well, sometimes you can light that box call up really loud, and then they get aggressive and they might gobble back. That's the only time. I don't know if I've ever. No, you've never seen me use one.
No, I had one last year, but more than anything, they get
and they're loud.
They're in your vest, and
yes.
they make noise while you're trying to get in there and sit down before the birds come down and everything, and you shake your vest the wrong way or bump a tree, and then your box call goes off, and
this is gonna really.
Then I get yelled at.
Yeah.
And then,
well, this is really gonna piss off the box call guys, because the guys who are box call guys are die hard. It's like they don't pick anything up, and I'm not downing them. My vest has a box call slot.
Yeah.
The neoprene sling that you use to tighten it down, it's wore out. The buckle you use to clamp over the top usually slides over the side, and it sits there and shakes back and forth. There's no real good way to dampen the sound of when you're walking around of a box call. Mm-hmm. Does it make a difference to the turkeys? I have no idea. But I know when I hear somebody walking with a box call in their vest and it's rattling, it drives me insane. And maybe I'm the bad guy. I don't know. But that's just my personal preference on why I don't run box calls. Sometimes I'll bring them. Sometimes I will leave them at the house. It's just how I am. Another thing I run, gotta have it. Quincy's got a train horn. I've got a nightingale. If you don't know what I mean. So there's a cheap hoot owl. They work. For some odd reason, it just sounds nothing.
They do. Because your hoot owls, it's a locator call.
Yeah.
So, my first year, I got a little HS strut. There's a glass call and some
pack. Yeah,
it was pack, and it came with the hoot owl. So I was like, oh, that's neat. And it works. It's like I think it's like $7 by itself.
$7? Yeah,
$7 or $8 by itself.
I'm gonna give you. Okay, have you ever seen the wooden train whistles like you blow into?
Yeah.
Okay, that is the exact same design, but put it on plastic. And this thing, when you blow too much into it, whistles. It doesn't hoot owl, it whistles. Yeah. Okay, I hate it. I tell Quincy to throw it away.
You can't get loud with it.
No.
Yeah.
So this one is a nightingale. I don't even know if I can. Locator owl is what they call it. It's super loud. And if you ever hear a hoot from an owl, at the end of their cadence, you'll hear their tongue roll.
Yeah.
And it'll sound like that at the end. With this call, I can make that sound. A lot of people struggle with that. I did too for a long time running other ones. This one's really good, so if this truck passes, I'll let you hear it. And how to blow it, what cadence to use. So here's my cadence. So that's how I blow it. There's other variations, but usually they'll gobble right there. Quincy will tell you.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I do. And after they gobble, I just put this back in my pocket. But sometimes they don't gobble. So what do you do then? You can keep. They just want They just want something different. Turkeys are weird. Something different makes them tick. So this is another one I'll use. I'll just go, and that'll be it. It's real short and sweet and loud. And a lot of times you'll notice a turkey will gobble at like something that pierces them, I guess I should say. Like with a box call, you can hit it hard and then they'll gobble. They haven't gobbled all day, but they gobble that. Why? I don't know why. Train horns, they gobble. Not like your train horn,
no,
but like a real train driving by. If you're running around by train tracks and you hear a train whistle, just stop. After the train goes by, listen. You'll hear gobbles. Thunder, they'll gobble at thunder.
They'll gobble at almost.
It's weird things.
I've went out and scouted birds, and you close a truck door, and then all of a sudden you get toms lighting up, and it's just
it's crazy. I've seen them gobble at dogs barking. We hunted a property here outside of town that had not flamingos. What's that bird?
peacock.
Peacocks, not
There it
ostriches.
is.
Peacocks roost with turkeys, and these turkeys were roosted with peacocks. Well, these peacocks would make these awful sounds, and the turkey would gobble at. So you always hear people competition calling and how you should sound. And, man, turkey calling can be as broad as you want to make it be. I've developed a sound I like. Quincy's going to develop a sound he likes. Everybody's going to develop a sound they like. Some people swear by their sound. I'm not telling you that the way I do my cadences and stuff are right or wrong. But most people listen to a lot of competition calling, and 9 times out of 10 that's the wrong way to call, because your competition callers,
everyone's going to call their own way, and it's hard to replicate an exact specific way and how to sound it.
Turkeys have different cadences, sounds. Every hen's different. There's not a similar hen out there. I've heard hens that you'll be calling and you're like, man, that sounded good, didn't it? And you hear a turkey walking in, it's a hen, and she's yelping, and I'm going to give you an example of one I heard last year. I'm not kidding you. She walked like that for 5 seconds and wouldn't shut up. It's just, they're weird animals. Turkeys that have no rhyme or reason to them. You ever try to pattern a turkey, you're not going to do it unless it's wintertime. Yeah. Turkeys during the spring are unpredictable. They can come in like that, or they can you'll never see them or hear them. Turkeys are weird. So back to where I use my calls and why I use these decoys. So majority of the season, beginning of your season is when they're breeding real hard. They're after their hens. That's why I run a Jake hen. It pisses them off. About halfway through, you'll start noticing hens breaking off. They're going to go lay down, maybe get their nest set up and everything. That's when gobblers are actively seeking again. I don't even like hunting in the mornings sometimes because they're so locked down, them hens, until they sit down that they don't even want to answer. So you'll notice here in Missouri especially, at 10 o'clock, everybody always says 10 o'clock go turkey hunt. Yeah, 10 o'clock in Missouri, get out of your bed. I'm not kidding you, I did it 2 years ago. Got up at 10 o'clock, walked out, and found a group of birds in a field. I said, well, there's 10 hens and a gobbler, but I know what these hens are going to do. They were already next to the timber. They weren't out in the middle of the field, so they were going to lay down, them hens were. So I knew if I could sneak back into where they were on the field edge and set up, I could call that gobbler back out off them hens, because them hens they're not active. They don't want to hang out no more. They're done. They're tired. They want to go lay down. So that gobbler ended up walking back out, and I shot him over this set. It's just how and most people will tell you they don't cross fences, and they don't cross ditches, and they don't cross rivers. They don't cross any normal things in a farm. I called that bird over a ditch, over a creek, and back over a fence because he was so hungry for another hen. He didn't have no hens. They were all laid down. That can be a killer time to kill turkeys. I don't know how many I've killed. I don't know how many Quincy has just been on with me in the last couple of years where we just find bird. We haven't heard a bird all morning, but 10 o'clock we'll run to this farm. Oh, well, here they are.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. But that's a great time to call a bird in, is 10 o'clock. Missouri, unfortunately, you can only hunt till 1 o'clock, so it puts you in a crunch.
noon hits and you're like,
man, I've been on those hunts too where it's 12:35. Here he comes, and he don't get there till 1:02, and you're like, you can't kill him. It's illegal.
yeah. And really, but you're supposed to be out of the woods.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be out of the woods, no gun at 1.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're walking out at 1 and the warden's there and you got gun emptied and everything, you probably gonna be all right. But you're supposed to be out of the woods, no gun at 1 o'clock. So.
Yeah, it irritates me. I mean, it irritates everybody here in Missouri. But you know what? I think it honestly does a lot of good for us. I mean,
the population's been going up that's why it got to such a low point, and then they put the rules in the way they.
I piss, moan, and whine about it, but it's not exact, and it's not made for the toms. It's made for the hens, so you don't disrupt their.
Disrupt their nest.
Yeah, their nest and where they're laying down. That's the only reason. Because like I told you, after 10 o'clock they go and lay down, didn't I? Well, after 1 o'clock you can't even go find them. They don't let you. So yeah, that's another thing. So last thing I'm gonna tell you is the late part of the turkey. About the last week, I would call the late ending of the spring turkey season. For Missouri, it gets tough, man. Them birds have been, especially high pressure birds. A lot of people don't think about high pressure like they do. Like when you think of deer being high pressure, everybody hunting them. One group of turkeys will jump around 4 farms next to each other. They don't care. They don't, they'll roost on one side of the fence one day, fly down, roost on the other side, and then they'll make circles. They're not going to leave the area, but they'll stay on 4 or 5 farms. And I've hunted a lot of birds that way. But another thing I've learned about people else hunting around you is less is more when running a turkey call. If you've got a turkey responding and you know there's hunters around, and maybe he goes off and you don't hear him for a while. If he's an old bird, 9 times out of 10, that bird's coming in on you. You just don't know it. He's either went into the timber to find you or the hen to make sure the coast is clear. He'll come back out. He'll work his way around. Quincy and I, last year, it was the last day of turkey season. Me and him and Preston went out and went on a hunt out here off Tri-County in Lawson. And we found 3 birds gobbling. They're down on the neighbors. Now, it was about 10 o'clock when they started gobbling. Well, I guess it was all morning. But about 10 o'clock, they kind of nestled down in the timber. So we made a move and set up on this point, and they went quiet. And I'm like, man, they were so fired up. To me, it didn't seem like they were old birds, but they could have been. But they were so fired up, I figured they were going to come in. Well, they shut up, nothing. We sat there for about till noon. And I just got up and rounded that finger we were sitting on, and when I did, there was a gobbler standing there. So they were coming in. They might take an hour, they might take 10 minutes. When they shut up, like I said, they could be gone or they could be coming your way, and you just got to be patient. That's the hardest thing about turkey hunting. It's a patient game. It drives people nuts because maybe you were working a bird here and you shut up. Now there's a bird gobbling over here. You want to get up because that gobbling, it's something about it. Something in our human, at least the guys who hunt.
Yeah.
Oh man, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Drive a guy to drinking. So late season, less is more. Don't overwork a bird. Don't let him know you're a human. I mean, the less he knows, the better off you are. So, as far as turkey hunting goes, that's what I run. I run pretty simple. I think it's pretty simple. A lot of guys getting depth on 2.5 foot space between your decoys and blah blah. You just go stake them in the ground, sit on the timber, hide yourself great, put your face mask and gloves on, and just sit there, see what happens. You'll love it. People who don't like hunting like turkey hunting, I think. I mean, taking kids who don't like shooting guns and seeing animals die, which, whatever, that's how you are, but they've been turkey hunting, they're like, dude, that was awesome. Them turkeys are so cool. It's a great way to introduce kids into hunting.
That's the first way I hunted. That was my...
You've been really close to killing them, haven't you? I guess that one...
last year, yeah.
It's not easy. Everybody thinks...
No.
Turkey hunting's so fun and easy, and everybody kills turkeys.
It can be easy.
Yes, it can be the easiest thing,
or it can be really hard. Like last year was hard, and it can be like that. Or
to prove to you how hard last year was, only person in this family and that family to kill turkey was my 7-year-old brother, and that was the oldest bird I've ever called in, and that bird did exactly what old birds do. He came off the roost, and he never gobbled on the roost. He never gobbled when he got to the ground. He just appeared in the field at 9:30, and
then he wanted to run away.
And he went to run away, and town blew his head off. Little 7-year-old kid, oldest bird. I mean, that 26.5-pound bird. That's a big bird in here in Missouri.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not easy to kill. I didn't kill a bird last year. They didn't even come close. I got skunked. I haven't been skunked since I started turkey hunting. I've always killed one bird. Last year I didn't kill birds. So you win some, you lose some. I think this is the best setup. I think you guys should go get your setup. Then let us know what you're doing. Say
You got questions too. Ask them.
I believe turkey hunting's a lot like fishing.
As far as preferences go?
Well, as far as people think they got their way of doing it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because everybody deer hunts similar in a deer stand in the timber.
Yeah.
But
Everyone's got ways they do things, and I mean, they prefer to do it one way or the other. And if it works for you, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, if you're having fun killing birds, you and your buddies, there's nothing like going in the morning, shooting a bird, and you can just come home, and your buddies are like, hey, you put it on Instagram or something? We do that all the time.
Yeah.
Put it on Instagram, everybody's like, oh, where'd you kill this one? Or, oh man, you gotta take me turkey. They either get really excited, or they get like, ah, I'm sick of you showing me turkeys.
yeah.
Some people don't know how to kill them, but we do a lot of. We like to take kids hunting. I love to take kids turkey hunting. It's more fun for them. They can stay interactive with the birds gobbling. They can see them. Where deer hunting's so boring to the kids.
Yeah, it's just it's slow. It's a grind. I mean, or turkey season can be too, but
It can be upbeat.
but there's a lot more. There's usually more going on when you're turkey hunting than even if it's not even birds, it's just moving around.
And not a lot of animals you can hunt on 10 acres. I've killed birds on 10 acres.
Yeah.
You can say people kill big deer every year on 10 acres. I'm going to tell you, yes, they do.
But
But it's not that easy to do it. Turkeys live everywhere. Anywhere you see a piece of grass in a field, or maybe some corn in a field, or they're there at some point. There's been a turkey there.
Yeah.
So you can kill them anywhere. It's easier to get permission.
turkey hunting than it is deer hunting for sure.
Definitely.
You can
The guy we talked to.
Yeah, you can be driving around and see birds in a field, roll up on someone's house and say, "Hey, man, you mind if we go down there and try to kill these turkeys?"
I don't know how many times I've done that.
And they're like, "Yeah, sure." Deer hunting, no.
Stay away from the deer.
Yeah, but turkeys is different. So
I mean, I had the guy I hunt on now here in town. The only property I have left in Lawson to turkey hunt. Sounds so bad to say, but it's right up, like I said, Tri-County where we went last year. 3 years ago, I went up to this guy's door. He had 13 gobblers in this field next to his house. I'm like, it ain't 12 acres. It's what this field is, 12-acre field. So, shoot, I'll just go knock on the door. And this guy answered the door. He's like, yeah, go kill them.
all of them.
I said, okay. So I went down there and I did kill one. So I came back the next weekend. There they were. I said, all right, I'll just knock on the door again. He said, dude, quit asking me. Just go kill my turkey. Basically what it ended up being. So I've been hunting on him for 3 years now. And what I've learned about those birds, they're high pressure too. There's a lot of hunters around. You got to moors less. They don't like decoys. They're stubborn. They're the hardest turkey in Lawson to kill. I've killed one. That's it out there. But they're out there. You'll see them. You'll hear them gobble.
Yeah.
But I think we've gone. What do we go?
Yeah. I don't know. We're in the 30-minute range.
Well, minus. We're about the same as we usually are.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys find something you like doing, or maybe you kill a bird, don't be afraid to send it to us. You know, we support you guys.
Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. That's when hunt season rolls around, we kind of get more active into. I mean, you guys send us something, we'll post it. And
Fish too, but
fish, yeah. And it just, I don't know. We've been in this slow season here for the past.
and it hasn't gotten any faster
3 months.
because it's stayed cold. We can't go fishing.
Yeah.
We went to Texas. It was 81 degrees. Come back here, it's below freezing.
Yeah, I mean, we were cleaning crappie this time last year.
Cleaning crappie,
bass fishing, and all
yeah.
kinds of stuff this time last year, and today's a warm day for what it's been like, and it's 45 degrees.
I'll tell you how bad it's been. They asked me to work Saturday, and I said yes.
Because there's nothing else
There's
to do.
nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you guys kill a bird. Let us know. Hey, here's my story. How it happened. Send us the story. I want to know how you killed it. I want to know what you used, how you called it in, what call you were using, blah blah blah. Was he active? Was he gobbling? Was he old, stubborn, shut up, and didn't answer to you at all? But he out popped in the field. Let us know. But like, subscribe, and share our page if you would. The more people know about us, the better off we are, better off you guys are. The more we want to do this. We love doing it already.
Yeah, the more we can do this. So.
Yeah. We'd love to just bring you stuff all the time. It's been very dull and
slow,
boring lately, so we haven't done anything. But ain't no cool stories for you today. But this is still on the deck, so thanks for watching.
Yeah.
You with MoMonsters, baby?